Greetings! I'm Teek, and this is the show where I go over things that were of interest to me in the last week. Fortunately, I have a great many interests, so there's probably something for you here too. Prepare yourself. Warner Bros. Released a trailer this week for Mortal Kombat Legends: Scorpion's Revenge. Set to release on April 12th on Blu-ray and DVD, the animated movie seems to follow the events of the first Mortal Kombat game, presumably from Scorpion's point of view. Though, since they went through the trouble of stunt casting and giving first billing to Joel McHale and Jennifer Carpenter as Johnny Cage and Sonya Blade, it's unclear exactly how Scorpion-centric this movie is really going to be. In other animated news, potentially good news for fans of Gunnerkrigg Court, this week Tom Siddell announced that he has entered into a deal with Magnesium Film, a newly established production company that intends to pitch a Gunnerkrigg Court animated series to Netflix. This means the project is very much in the very early stages, but progress is progress. But while that project waits to get approved, Netflix is definitely moving forward with a live-action adaptation of One Piece. Note, what you're seeing on the screen is not a sneak peek, that's a television commercial for a Japanese employment company that I'm using as a visual aid. We're probably a long way from seeing what Netflix will come up with for adapting the long-running series. The 10-episode order will be co-produced by Netflix and Tomorrow Studios, the company responsible for Amazon Prime's Hana adaptation and the upcoming Snowpiercer series. One Piece creator Ichiro Oda is named as an executive producer, but that means his involvement could range anywhere from Kevin Feige to Stan Lee, so we'll just have to see how that goes. Moving over to video games, Square Enix released a story-filled new trailer for the Final Fantasy VII Remake. Good news, everybody! Cross-dressing Cloud is confirmed. Now, give us that damn demo already. Finally, Nintendo released a bunch of information about the soon-to-be-launching Pokemon Home service. It seems that Pokemon Home will be split between two different apps, one for your smartphone and one for your Nintendo Switch. On the Switch side of things is where you'll be doing the bulk of your transfers, particularly moving Pokemon from Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee or your Pokemon Bank over to Pokemon Sword and Shield. Note that transferring Pokemon from Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee or the Pokemon Bank is a one-way trip. Once they're home, they can't go back. This will presumably be true for Pokemon Go as well once that functionality is enabled. On the upside, don't worry about having to shell out a few extra bucks to reactivate your Pokemon Bank if you've left it sitting idle since 2013. When Home launches, Pokemon Bank will automatically be reactivated for a month at no cost, so break out that 3DS. But while you'll need to use your Switch if you want to transfer that Gen 1 Pikachu from your 3DS over to Pokemon Sword, the mobile app is where you can just trade for one. The mobile app of Pokemon Home will allow for Wonder Trades, which allow you to toss an unwanted Pokemon into the internet just to see what you get in return from a random stranger. There's also Room Trade, which is functionally the same thing, but in an orgy-like setting. If you're looking for something less random, the Global Trade system will let you put out a request for a specific Pokemon exchange. And of course you can trade with your friends, presuming that you A. have friends and that they are B. interested in managing yet another friend list because Nintendo refuses to utilize a universal social network system. Pokemon Home will have a both free and paid version, with the paid subscription going for $16 a year. For the casual trainer, the free version should be sufficient. You can store up to 30 Pokemon in Home at a time, use the Wonder Box in GTS, and even participate in the trading orgies. The biggest differences between the versions are that you'll need the paid version to transfer from your Pokemon Bank. The paid version lets you store 6,000 Pokemon, and it gives you the ability to see your Pokemon's stats, moves, and other information. Pokemon Home doesn't have a set release date yet, but other things do. Hitting theaters this week is Birds of Prey. Margot Robbie stars as Harley Quinn in a movie about Harley Quinn dealing with Harley Quinn's problems, both emotional and criminal. Also, some characters that vaguely resemble the Birds of Prey are in it, I guess. For something a little more low profile, there's Come to Daddy. Probably wouldn't have given this a second look, but when it's Elijah Wood doing his Elijah Wood thing, it's usually worth a watch. This time that involves solving the mystery of his probably murderous father that lives in a secluded cabin in the woods. Over on television, The Sinner on USA starts up this week for its third season. I never heard of it before just now, but it appears to be about Bill Pullman solving a long-form mystery. And for funnier police work, Brooklyn Nine-Nine is back for its 7th season at its new home on NBC. Don't let the trailer fool you, that's just what they do. For another workplace comedy, Mythic Quest Raven's Banquet on Apple TV takes a look at the world of video game development through the lens of the creators of It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, which is not something you'd ever expect to see, but here it is. And over on Netflix, Lock and Key is a show that I'm gonna go out on a limb and say is about a bunch of magic keys and the trouble that a bunch of teenagers can get into with them. I'm down for it. In video games, releasing on Steam this week is Space Elite Force 2, a nice-looking but almost as generic-looking side-scrolling shooter as I can imagine. Jory is another pixel art point-and-click horror adventure, and those will never not look interesting to me. Dragonfang Drawn's Mystery Dungeon is a colorful roguelike RPG, and that's really all I've got for the game. Gunn, which was apparently supposed to come out 6 years ago, has a new release date for this week, so yay for following through. Coming out on PC and Xbox One, Monster Viator is a pretty spiffy-looking JRPG about befriending monsters and presumably using them to fight your battles. Releasing on all platforms, Kunai is about a sentient tablet computer with ninja skills adventuring his way through the world. It looks pretty cool, and I'm sure there have been weirder concepts. Order of the Gatekeepers is this week's tower defense entry. Defend your something against waves of something with a ton of towers and abilities. And finally on Steam, Rocketron looks like a kind of Mega Man-inspired action shooter with some pretty spiffy bosses. Over on the Epic Games Store, this week's free game is Farming Simulator 19. Work your fields, plant your crops, and then wait for some asshole in a bad toupee to destroy your markets and put you on welfare so a large farming corporation can swoop in and buy you out for pennies on the dollar. Moving over to the Switch, Code Realize Guardian of Rebirth seems to be a visual novel about 19th century literary characters that are also hot anime boys. Oh yes. That leaves us with this week's awesome video. Wisecrack takes a deep look at the schism between professional critics and the general public when it comes to whether or not a movie is good or bad.
So in short, if you hate film critics, you hate me, and you also probably hate yourself. No, that's not how we saw this video going either, but here we are.
That's everything for this week, so what anime do you want to see get a live-action adaptation on Netflix? Let me know in the comments. Be sure to subscribe to my channel, and maybe give me a like if you think I deserved it. I hope you enjoyed the video, and have a great week!